I'm hearing someone come in. Everyone try to mute yourself. Let me see if I can go in here and mute everyone. That's muting me. Okay. I think we have. Did we mute everyone? Did that do it? No, hold on. Okay. Well, always some technical difficulties, but for those of you who have joined, we're going to move forward. Again, I'm Anthony Bolin. You're here on one of the live streaming channels or in Zoom because you've expressed some interest in establishing a career in real estate. And so for the next hour, we're going to be talking about what it really means to be a real estate professional. Uh, I've been in the industry more than 35 years, and I'm here to it's no way possible in 1 hour on the 30 minutes to go through the presentation that I'm going to pour into you. 35 years of experiences, can't do it, but we're going to have some fun. Put your questions into the chat box. And if I don't answer the questions during the presentation, then we'll get them during the Q&A. So let's get started. Chasing gazillions is trademarked. It ain't the same as making millions, that's for sure. Let me present. So you want to be a real estate professional, right? We're going to shift your focus towards a career in real estate. Okay. So here's some of the ground rules for today. Again, I've been in the industry 30 years. Please put your questions into the chat box or write your questions down. When we're done with the presentation, I should have answered most of your questions. If I haven't, we'll answer them during the Q&A. And if you need more time, I'm happy to meet with you separately offline. The goal here is to help you take the next steps towards becoming a licensed real estate professional or not. A lot of people think they want to be real estate professionals, but when they hear what's really involved, they decide, well, that's not really what I want to do. What I want to do is invest and be an investor or a lender. The numbers here are for general information purposes only. Let's get started. Shifting your focus. It's a business, and it's about the money. We're going to talk about being a real estate professional. We're going to talk about the myths, the categories, your focus, consulting. We're going to talk about education. We're going to talk about the importance of follow up and follow through. Shift one. It's a business. If you're thinking about getting into real estate, forget about whatever it is you think you understood before you came here tonight. It is a business. If you were considering starting up any other business or franchise or multi-level marketing, there are costs associated with starting up a business. And you need to be thinking from this point going forward, it's a business. And so I have pre-licensing education costs, testing fees, continuing education every 2 years to renew your license, professional development, professional coaching, multiple listing fees, association fees, errors and omissions insurance. You try to do your best. I try to do my best as a real estate professional. A deal that I'm involved in right now, a transaction where I've done my best, the deal went bad, the parties were mad, the parties got lawyers, and guess what? Now I'm embroiled in a lawsuit. I wasn't at fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm in it, and thank God I have my errors and omissions insurance to provide me with protections that I need. There are broker costs, there are desk fees, there's health insurance, there's marketing materials, there's internet fees and services, driving your car. It's a business, and you have expenses associated with this business that you're about to embark upon. Here's an example of some monthly fees. I'm involved here as an associate broker with Keller Williams. There are many franchise opportunities out here for you all to consider, and you should. And as a real estate career coach, I'm here to be a guide and a conduit to you. So although I'm on one platform, I'm not here to say it's the right platform. It's been the right one for me. It may be for you, but the point is that you will be facing monthly fees in your business, consortium fees, technology fees. At my company, I'm director of the commercial division. To be a member of the commercial division, there's an additional fee that I pay. To have access to information, co-star, there's additional fees that I'm paying. Now, on our platform at Keller Williams, we are a 100% pay-as-you-go platform. Traditional brokerages have their standards, and I'm not here to comment or again on what's good or bad. I'm here to provide you with a glimpse as to what you will face as you consider embarking on this journey to becoming a real estate agent. If you consider Keller Williams' model, we have what's called a cap. It's like a deductible. It's like your healthcare deductible, right? It's like you spend so much money, and then every time you go to the doctor, you pay a deductible. It's the same way here. We call it company dollars, and plus there's a royalty. Most of your real estate companies that you're considering, like Keller Williams, are franchises. They are owned and operated by individuals here in the local marketplace. But the franchisor who runs the organization nationally also is entitled to royalty fees. Bottom line is, when you consider an operation like Keller Williams, before you even cross the threshold, there is a cap, a $25,000 cap that you owe to the company dollar, right? I mean, they call it something else. Bottom line is, that's the obligation. Now, there are other costs of sales, there's administration fees on every transaction that you do. And if you take my advice and you get involved in coaching, which I personally am also involved in coaching, there's fees associated with coaching. And so you're looking at a cap. You haven't even made one transaction, you haven't sold anything, and you say, Anthony, I already owe 25 grand? No, not quite. But here's an example of how that plays out on net commissions, because I know you're here to hear about the money. I know you've heard about the money that agents make, but I want you to see about the money because, as I said in the beginning, it's a business and it's about the money. So let's say, for example, you sold a house today. Your first house, it was $400,000, and you earned, representing the buyer, half of the general commission here in this market area, $12,000 gross commission income, GCI. Okay, but hold on now. From that fee, you now need to contribute towards your cap, your company dollars, and that's 30%. So on all the dollars that you make, 30% of it goes towards your company dollar until you reach your cap. Your 30% goes towards your cap. There's that royalty fee, 6% goes towards the royalty cap of 3,000. 22,000 plus 3,000 is the $25,000 cap. Hold on. That leaves you with 7,680. But now if you're involved in coaching, there's another $768 that has to be taken out. Hold on. There was a transaction fee because you're running a business, $225. And so in the end, although you sold a house for $400,000, you made 12, in your pocket is $6,687. You need to be thinking like a business that, no, I don't get 12,000, I get to spend 12,000. Their costs. And I didn't even begin to talk about the IRS and paying taxes, because remember, it's a business. You're not a W-2 employee, you're running a business. You're an independent contractor, you're a 1099 contractor. There's taxes that you need to pay on the income you're generating. So you say, hey, Anthony, if day one, when I show up, I already owe $25,000 and I'm only going to keep 6,600 of it, How many sales do I need to do before I get to 100% and I keep all of the commission? And that's a great question. And here's your answer. You take the $25,000 divided by the 3%. You figure you're going to earn one side of the transaction. That gives you 833,000 plus gross sales commission. And that's divided by the 36%. Remember, the 36% is your company dollars and your royalty fee. That means you need to generate $2,314,000 in gross sales volume. That amount divided by an average sales price of $400,000 equates to 6 sales. So if you have an average sales price of $400,000, you need to close 6 sales. And once you do, your cap is paid, and everything else after that point, you earn 100% of all the gross commission. It may sound complicated. It's not. Take a picture, take some time. We'll go over it later. Shift number 2, real estate agent or professional, right? Most persons who become licensed real estate agents think of themselves as just that, a real estate agent, a residential real estate agent. But I'm here to give you a different focus, a different shift. I want you to think about being a real estate professional, because that's how the state of Maryland, District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth of Virginia thinks of you, as licensed sales professionals, and that you are now licensed and authorized to help persons with their real estate transactions. And you're not limited. You're only limited by the books you've read and the people you associate with. Now, there are fundamental differences, of course, between selling residential homes and commercial real estate. But for our purposes here today, what I want to emphasize is you are a professional. You're right up there licensed, right up there with the doctors, the dentists, the lawyers, even the plumbers have licenses, and you're right up there with them as a real estate professional with a license. And as such, you should govern yourself as a professional. You know, there are a lot of myths that you will face when you're thinking about getting into this business as a commercial real estate professional, residential real estate professional. One of the biggest myths out there that we want to dispel right now is this: as that there is no commercial real estate license. That once you are licensed as a real estate professional in any jurisdiction, if you have the confidence and the competence to provide services to your clients, then you can do it. That's what matters. But that there is no special commercial real estate license that you have to get in order to do commercial. Now, I've had the opportunity to work at big boy commercial real estate firms, and I'm here to tell you, yes, some, not all, but some commercial real estate professionals out here will give you the impression that because your clients deal primarily with their primary residents in residential, that you aren't both confident or competent to do commercial transactions. And that's just a myth. You can, day one, just got your license, be involved in commercial transactions. You need some more specialized training. You may need the benefit of a mentor and a guide who's invested with helping you, but you can get involved with commercial transactions day one. Don't believe the myth. The major categories of real estate services. I mean, there are a lot of different types of opportunities to get involved with real estate. You could do flips. You could be an investor. but there's 6 basic areas, categories of real estate where your business, where you as a real estate professional can provide a service to your clients. And this has become very important. You'll see in a moment when we talk about specialized. But you want to begin right now to understand it's not limited to just residential services. There's office buildings, there's industrial space, there's retail space. I specialize in multifamily properties, right? I work with clients who buy and sell multifamily properties from 4 to 50 units in wards 5, 6, 7, and 8 here in Washington, D.C. They call that my elevator speed. But I'm not limited to that. I get involved in other transactions. But let me move on. So here are some examples of transactions that you could be involved in that cover a wide range, that cover those 6 categories we just talked about. So here's a luxury home, a residential home that our team sold, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, row house in the Nome neighborhood for $1.1 million. And then here's a small office building, commercial office building in the H Street corridor that our team sold to a developer who then redeveloped it into a much larger retail development there on H Street. Then we also had the opportunity to represent Walgreens, looking for a location to provide their pharmaceutical services to the community. And so we provided tenant representation services to Walgreens and identified some flex industrial space for their operations. And then there's retail space, where we work with an owner who recently had a Foot Locker in the retail space, and then we were able to identify 7-Eleven and negotiate a long-term lease with 7-Eleven to take space. You know that space at the corner of 8th and 8th, in the heart and epicenter of the H Street corridor. There's multifamily building, 12-unit apartment building. We helped the client acquire here, Ayers Place in Southeast Washington. And land. We recently helped the developer sell land here in the district. Yes, if you are out there thinking that, believing the myth that you cannot own land in the District of Columbia, yeah, that's just a myth. You can own the land. You just sold this land to a builder who's going to build 30 new townhomes and resell those homes. And you do own the land here in the District of Columbia. But here's the important thing I want you to notice. I need you right now, as you are considering your journey into real estate, as you are considering thinking about becoming a licensed real estate professional, as you are thinking about getting your license, you need to right now begin to narrow your focus. You need to narrow your focus and think about specializing. Think about one area, one category of property, one service that you are going to provide to your clients. And I know you're saying, yeah, well, Anthony, I just saw those different categories of transactions you were just involved in. And that's true. And I guess what I'm saying here is like one of those sayings, you know, my mother used to say when I was a child, right? Did my mother say this? The point is, I've heard this, and you've probably heard it too. Do as I say, not as I do. I know it's bad, you know, as advice, but here, don't do. I'm giving you the benefits of after 35 years of doing a lot of different things. You, for the next first 2 years that you get into the industry, You should be focused. And focusing on one category will help to establish you as an expert in that area. I mean, yes, I've been involved in all those different transactions, but the truth is that I focus on being a multifamily expert here in wards 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's my strength. That's what I focus on. That's what I look to establish in the marketplace as a service that I provide with my business. But I want you to know, focusing on one category, focusing on one type of property doesn't mean that you're limited. Not at all. Because you can be focused on one type of property as a real estate professional, but generate multiple opportunities to provide services. Here's an example. You could focus on being a retail real estate professional. Retail. That you focus on retail services. Retail. And as a real estate professional focused on retail real estate, you could help investors buy retail real estate and help them sell it. Or you could help those investors to purchase retail real estate that they might later want to lease out. Or you could help landlords who own retail real estate and help them lease it. Or you could focus on tenants who are looking to put in their next Chick-fil-A, Baskin-Robbins, or other retail space and help them lease it. Or you could help developers acquire land where they plan to build a 4-bay retail center where they're going to need retail tenants. Being focused as a retail real estate expert provides you the opportunity to generate compensation in all those areas, and you're not limited. Narrowing your focus doesn't limit you. It establishes you as an expert where people begin to know you for that subject matter. And then you will also get the opportunity to go into other areas where your expertise, your specialization will get you on a team, but not limit you. You'll become the expert. Now, consulting fees. Here's what I want to tell you about consulting fees. But I first want to tell you the difference between brokerage and consulting. You have to know as a real estate professional. I mean, here is the secret. Here is the thing they don't tell you that I'm sharing with you about being a real estate professional. You manage a lot of processes and steps. In fact, the National Association of Realtors, of which I am a member, has indicated that on average, most transactions as a real estate professional, we conduct over 167 steps to complete one transaction. That's a lot of moving parts that you're handling. And sometimes in providing those services to our clients, we give the impression that we walk on water and that we do it all. We do everything, but we don't. As a broker in your business, you want to make sure that the service that you're providing is in relationship to the fee that you're going to earn for that service. And so if you provide a service, you get a fee. But if there are other services that are required by your client, those should not come out of your brokerage fee. Those you should earn as consulting fees. And so what I like to say to my clients, and the way that I separate the two, because the lines sometimes get blurry, is that as a real estate broker, I'm doing. I'm taking a listing. I'm putting up a sign. I'm meeting with prospects. I'm meeting with inspectors. I'm talking to appraisers. I'm doing to get the transaction done. But at some point, if I'm asked to start thinking, if I have to start thinking then I'm no longer brokering, I'm consulting. Let me give you an example to make that live for you. So I was working with a client and I went out and I went and was looking and doing to help him buy a 13-unit apartment building. And we were successful. And we purchased the apartment building and we earned our fee. And the client was happy and he had the property and the brokerage services were done. But then the client turns and says, hey, the city is requiring, now that I've purchased this new building, that the owner, now have to obtain a basic business license from DCRA, and I have to establish rent ceilings, and I have to go to DCRA to deal with rent control, and I have to send notices to the tenants. And the client turns and says, hey, you're the broker. Can you help me with those things? And at that point, I have to say to the client, well, I'm going to have to think about that. I'm going to have to start thinking where to go, what to do. I'm going to have to start thinking about filling out forms. I'm going to have to start thinking about how do you get the notices sent to these tenants. I will be doing a lot of thinking. And I figure I'm probably going to be thinking about 10 hours worth of work. And so I charge as a consulting fee $1,500. That's $150 an hour for thinking, consulting services. And that's separate. These items here have nothing to do with the brokerage service of helping the client to find and purchase the building, although the owner needs these services done. And your owner may turn to you as a real estate professional. I mean, you don't have to think about doing these things. You could advise your client, your owner, to speak to their lawyer. And I get that a lot myself, being a lawyer. And I have to give a disclaimer to all my clients right away by saying, yes, I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. I'm your real estate professional. I'm your real estate broker. And so I have to make that distinction clear that that's not the role I play here. I play the role of broker. And why is that important? Why make that distinction other than hearing these costs? And here's one that you need to know if you're not clear about it. As the real estate professional involved in these transactions, you are the first person in, but the last one to get paid. The very last one to get paid. I mean, the dead last one to get paid. And so you are managing a lot of processes, helping persons find properties, evaluating these properties, negotiating contracts on these properties, helping people find financing for these properties. You are shepherding a process from beginning to end. Why? Because that's where you get paid at the end. And that's why it's so important to you that everything works out. And that's why you are up late at night managing and sweating and thinking about all of the issues associated with the project and the opportunity here and the assignment, because you have to get it across the finish line. And when you get to the finish line and you get it across, everyone else will have earned. The lawyer, the settlement attorney, the lender would have earned, the buyer gets their keys, the seller gets their monies, inspectors will have been paid, even the couriers would have received their fee before they curry and bring you your commission at the end. So that's the role you play here, and that's why it's important. But you want to make sure that it's the brokerage services is what you're paying for. Shift number 3, education. As I mentioned, once licensed as a real estate professional, you are licensed to go out and provide the services that you are both confident and competent to do. And I want you to think about We all have been living to this point. You have relationships and experiences that bring you to this very moment. You may be employed in a job right now where you have access to a lot of information and you do a lot of different things. And your reason for wanting to be a real estate professional are your reasons. But the point is, to the extent that you are confident and competent to help someone else achieve their real estate goals, you can provide that service. So education is important. There are a lot of different ways to attain education. There's formal education. Keller Williams, for example, offers a very robust curriculum on commercial training to help get you up to speed on becoming a commercial professional. There's other outside education and training, real estate schools, books, mentoring, CCIM. It stands for the Certified Commercial Investment Member. I am a CCIM. It's the highest professional designation one can attain here. And less than 0.5% of all real estate professionals, minority real estate professionals, have obtained this designation. You can go to ccim.com to learn more about the designation. The point being is that it provides training and education that as a professional, I use to assist my clients in evaluating income generating properties and cash flows. There are schools, there are books, mentoring, another form of education. Now, here's an important thing about mentoring that I want you to understand. For me, mentoring is two ways, goes in two directions. Okay. Mentoring is not you like a little baby bird with your mouth open, chirping, saying, feed me, feed me, feed me. And someone is pouring information and experiences down your throat and helping you chew and patting you on the belly. And okay, you full. That's not mentoring. Okay. Mentoring is your desire to gain more knowledge and experience about a particular subject or area, and a mentor who comes in many different forms. Could be a coach, could be a real estate career coach. The benefit of mentoring is that they help you get from point A to point B faster than you going alone. And so I want to encourage you all out there to be thinking about not so much the big why you want to be involved in real estate, although why it can be an important question. You know, why you want to do real estate? You know, that's a common question that's out there. There are a lot of books written about it on find your big why. Why is important. I'm not saying why it's not important. What I am saying, though, is to be a successful real estate professional, who is more important? Who? Not who like in Whoville. Who? Who you have that's invested in you and your success? Who is in your life that's going to, that you will voluntarily subject yourself to for accountability purposes? Who has what you want and where you want to be, and they are willing to be in your pocket? And who are you able to go at them hard to get what you want from them, right? That's mentorship. And you can find that wherever you find it, wherever you can find it. And it's not hard to find, because if there's someone out there that has what you want, they are more likely than not willing to share with you how they got to where they are. And if you are up in their grill every week, writing them, calling them, asking them about how can you get to where they are, they will help you. It's who that's going to make the difference in your success as a real estate professional. Now, along those lines, there's this issue of advice. And advice is free, and that's fine. But it's only worth, the advice only has a value of what it's worth. It's free. Okay, that's what you got. But involvement has a price to it. And as a real estate professional, if you are not both confident and competent to complete an entire transaction from beginning to end by yourself, then you should solicit the support and help of others who are confident and competent to assist you and have them be involved in your transaction. It's your transaction, no doubt, but you need help. And for that involvement, you should be prepared to share a portion of the potential compensation that you might earn from this opportunity with the person you're asking to be involved with you until such time that you are confident and competent to do it. Let me give you a story, an analogy to help you make this live for you. I got a fishing story. Now, I don't fish, but I'll give you this fishing story anyway, because it just illustrates this point so well. So you're out on a boat and you're fishing, and you hook an opportunity. It's something out there, and you've hooked it because you can feel it pulling on the line. You're not sure what it is. The issue is that if you can get whatever that opportunity is into the boat without breaking the line and having that opportunity swim away, then you have earned some portion of 100% of this opportunity. Because without you having hooked the opportunity, then there is no opportunity. And that has a value. Let's call it 25% for purposes of this analogy. So if you can hook an opportunity, get a meeting, hook an opportunity and get it in the boat without the line breaking, that's 25%. Okay, great. Now, I like catfish, for example, personally. I'm second generation Washingtonian here. I like catfish. Now, if you can get catfish in the boat, and if you can skin the catfish with that tough skin and not get stuck by their tentacles, right? Because the whiskers, they'll stick you. And if you can, get that skin off without ripping off all the meat, oh, well, that might be worth another 25%, right? If you can skin it. Now, if you can prepare the fish, right? You can get them back and prepare the fish, season them up, blacken them, season them up, and prepare the fish so that it's properly seasoned. That might be worth another 25%. And if you can serve this dish up so that we all can eat, then that might be another 25%, give or take, right? The concept here is that if you can hook an opportunity, get them on the boat, get them skinned and cooked properly, then we all can eat blackened catfish and have a good time. But to the extent that you can't do each one of those opportunities yourself, you need to bring somebody else in, get somebody else involved, get a senior person involved with you and share the commission with those individuals until such time that you acquire the knowledge and get confident and competent about the transaction. Shift number 4. follow up and follow through. A successful transaction can be leveraged many, 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 many times. And you need to be, from the moment in which you are meeting clients, the first moment, you need to be sharing with those clients not only about the good work you're going to do, but that you can do as you're doing the good work. You need their help to do it with others while you're working on their assignment, right? Because investors who are buying things also sell things, other properties, and tenants that you're working with to lease one location may have multiple locations, and landlords that you're looking for tenants for may have the need to buy properties. And so asking for referrals from your satisfied clients is an important follow-up and a follow-through that a lot of real estate professionals overlook. They're just one-time dating. I helped Mrs. Jones buy a house, and then that's it. She was happy, everyone was happy, and then it was done. And everybody is happy. But your business will starve if you aren't able to get Mrs. Jones to help you tell other people in Mrs. Jones's world about the good work that you've done, that you get letters of recommendations and so forth. So in summary, guys, we're just about at the end. We're coming up on 5:45, 45 minutes after the hour. For those of you all who are on West Coast time, there are a lot of pros and cons in transitioning into a career in real estate. You have to know that it's a business. It's a business. It's a business. It's about money. It's going to take commitment and hard work and focus. You need to be confident and competent about both the area of real estate you're going to work on and the people you're going to have involved, and who you're going to have supporting you during this transition. I want to thank you all for attending today's presentation. And when you or someone you know is ready to get into real estate as an agent, as an owner, a seller, a buyer, an investor, a tenant, please have them call the Anthony Bowling Group, because our leverage relationships will save them time and make them money. That just started today, but you can still get into it. There's some training we offer here at Keller Williams, bold training that started today. It's a 6-week course on training. We're big on training at Keller Williams. In terms of next steps from here, as I said, you can always write to me, and I'm always happy to answer your questions. But if you really want to take the next step towards pursuing becoming a licensed real estate professional, we have information sessions that we host on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. These are Zoom calls, that informational session that will provide you with more detailed information about living in a market center, those costs, those actual costs of getting your business started, so you can move to the next step. I'd be remiss if I didn't also share with you some books that I have found to be very, very beneficial. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book was written by Gary Keller, who is the founder of Keller Williams, one of the co-founders of Keller Williams. Most agents, and this is a book, it's not required reading by agents, but we think of it as the Bible. It does a great job of telling you how to build a real estate business. A fantastic job of telling you how to build it. Recently, though, I've come upon the E-Myth Real Estate Agent by Michael Gerber. and Brad Cohen. Brad Cohen is also a Keller Williams agent. And this, the E-Myth for real estate agents, talks about why real estate businesses don't work and what to do about it. And I find that this book here, which is recommended reading for people on my team, does a fantastic job of showing you how to actually implement the processes and systems needed to build a successful business. So if you look at those two books, if you thought of them like a car, for example, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent would be would show you how to build a Ferrari racing car. But the E-Myth Real Estate Agent book would teach you how to drive it, right? That's the relationship between the two books. I recommend the E-Myth book first if you're thinking about getting into the business. It's just really going to come home as to what's important and what you should be really considering if you're thinking about getting into the business. Okay, it's 5:45. It's time for Q&A. And so we will go here, and I'm going to stop sharing. We're still live, and we will go out to the live streams and go here and see what questions we have. And here in the chat box, and answer any questions that we have. Okay. Let's see here. Work this technology. Okay. Okay, I see a question here. How much can you make in real estate? It's a very good question. It's a common question. The National Association of Realtors indicates that a great majority of real estate agents make, I think the way that they phrase it is, the average real estate agent, I don't know, makes like $15,000 or $20,000, something like that. It's like 20. Yeah, I think it's like $20,000 a year, the average, because I've heard it then be used as a way to try to motivate most real estate agents to say, well, you're not average, you're going to be above the average, right? Because that's the average. That's not the median. It's not the average. The bottom line is that there are agents real estate professionals who make lots of money. They have systems and processes in place. They have teams, they have expansion teams, and there are agents who make big numbers. And there are persons who have been licensed in real estate for a year, and they have not closed one transaction, and they have made no money. So the real, so I can't really answer how much, right? But what I want you to know is that if you approach getting into real estate as a business, then what you will do is not lose money. Okay. I'm not here to try to tell you, hey, the sky's the limit and you can do what bowling does. Hey, Anthony Bowling, I have been out here on this grind more than 35 years. Okay. And I can assure you without a doubt, I have not made money every one of those 35 years. I mean, I'm like a lot of agents, who we call transitional. I worked as a contracting officer, a CO with the General Services Administration for 15 years. And while I was doing that, I was still working and pursuing my real estate practice. And during those times, uh, yeah, I was making money. I was getting my shirts cleaned. I was helping out my family with vacations, and that was beneficial to me and my family. Uh, I've since 2013 left the General Service Administration and been pursuing real estate all time as my only means of supporting our family. But hey, uh, how much can you make? The key is to develop a business plan for your business. Decide how much revenue you desire to generate a year from now. Uh, Establish a business plan on what on how many transactions it will take to yield you that amount of money. Determine what cost of business and operating costs you're going to have to incur over the year as expenses and operating costs that are going to have to come from those transactions to leave you with, and after taxes, to leave you with the amount of revenue, the amount of income that you want. That's what I'm here to say about that question. How much money can you make? Um, because in that way, with a solid plan and understanding your operational costs and business expenses, uh, you will then build a business that, with the help of others, that who can help you to scale that business, and that business will grow to the extent that you do. That business will generate to the extent that you do. And so that's probably um, the best way of answering this. I know that was a long response. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. Uh, is this recorded? Yes and no. Yes, this program is live streamed across Facebook, Twitter, and to the extent that it's out there. I don't understand those technologies that well. I have others who are helping me to bring this program to you weekly, Wednesdays at 5. And to the extent I think it's out there on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and it shows up and it's recorded, then yes, you can see it again, just like any other videos out there. I am not recording it here on Zoom, although I think I could, and maybe over time, maybe I should. That's a great point. And if you have skills here in this area of live streaming and recording and building a library and all, holla at a brother. Call me back, right? I'm open to the support. But no, yeah. So if it's out there, yes, to that extent, it is being recorded. Okay. Next question. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. When did you get started in real estate? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good question. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm second generation Washingtonian. I went to school here in DC. I went to public schools here in DC. I went to Carver, Keene, Rabot, and I graduated from McKinley Tech High School in 1982, where I received a full athletic football scholarship after 1 year playing football to go to the University of Virginia. And I attended the University of Virginia. I was there 5 years. But at the end of my junior year, during my second year, junior year, that summer, I was faced with the challenge of having to decide what I was going to do with my life as a sociology major. And so, faced with the prospect, as friends and others would say, what, you're going to be a sociologist? I was looking for a way, something that fit with my personality, me being an only child and a talker, and I've never met a stranger, and and although people, everybody loves me, but everybody doesn't like me when they first meet me. But I digress. My point being is that I was up late at night, my junior year, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and Mr. Wu was on the TV, and Mr. Wu said on his infomercial, not unlike the infomercials that are out right now in this real estate market. Mr. Wu said that he had just arrived here in this country, and he didn't speak any English. He didn't have any money, but he's been in this country 2 months now, and bam, he's all blinged out. He's got chains. He's on a boat. He's got women. And he says, if I bought his book, I too could have the life that he has. And I did. And I bought that book. And I, from that point forward, started on this journey, this career of mine that has spanned more than 35 years in pursuit of a career in real estate. And this is what I've loved. But along the way, what I have learned, which is the title of the program here and where it stems from. What I learned from Mr. Wu, and what you should learn from me about all the infomercials, because wherever you get information from, even from me, it should you just need to take it and have it work for you, but it has to work. But I can tell you this, chasing gazillions ain't the same as making millions, right? So you want to be a real estate professional, it's going to take hard work, and buying some program, some, peel, right? That's going to just make all of whatever it is that you are facing go away. Just isn't going to happen. It just does take a lot of work. But if you get the right people in your corner supporting you, you get with the right mentors, you get the right who's in your life. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but it doesn't have to take 35 years to get to where bowling is, right? Okay, so I'm getting the finger, I'm getting the hook, being told that my time is up. Again, I'm Anthony Bowling with the Anthony Bowling Group. Thank you so much for coming out and spending time with me this evening. If you have other questions, please send me an email. I'd love the opportunity to talk with you more about helping you start your career as a real estate professional. All the best. Take care.